OBS, aka Open Broadcaster Software. So you're going to want to click this big green download button that says Download OBS Studio, and you want to download it based on which operating system you have. I have Windows 10, so I would choose Windows 7 Plus. If you got Mac, choose OS X. If you got Linux, choose Linux. But don't download OBS Classic down here. It sucks ass, and this tutorial will probably not apply to you if you download OBS Classic. But if you want a tutorial for OBS Classic, I might do it if I get enough requests in the comments. Anyways, download that. I'm not going to download it because I already have it downloaded, but you can pause this video now. If you don't have it downloaded, you can download it and then unpause the video when you're ready. So once you got this downloaded, you just want to minimize Chrome, and you want to run OBS. But before you do that, actually, you want to go to your search. If you have Windows, you want to go to search and type in system, right? Oh, I spelled system wrong. System. Then you want to hit enter, and it should bring you to this. If it doesn't, just go to Control Panel, System and Security, and click on System. You want to go to System Type over here, and you want to see if your system is a 64-bit or a 32-bit operating system. So mine's 64-bit. If yours is 32-bit, that'll come into play in a second. So just memorize what system type you have. I have 64-bit. You might have 32-bit, or you might have 64-bit. So you can exit this, and you want to search up OBS on your apps. And if you have a 64-bit system, click on OBS Studio 64-bit. And if you have a 32-bit system, go to OBS Studio 32-bit. But I have a 64-bit, so I'm going to launch 64-bit. If you have a 64-bit system, you do not want to launch the 32-bit. Vice versa, if you have a 32-bit system, you don't want to launch the 64-bit because it will not work properly. Anyways, when you open this, your OBS probably will not look like this, really. You won't have any sources here. You won't have probably a mic and a desktop audio in your mixer, and you most likely will not have this black and silver color layout thing. But I'll show you guys how to get all this. Let's do it. So what you want to do all this, you want to go to File, you want to go to Settings. So let's get into this. I'm going to go through these settings as fast as I can. I was having some complications earlier, so I have to re-record this, but I already know what I'm doing, so we're just going to blaze through this. Anyways, language, you want to choose English, or, you know, whichever language you speak. If you're Espanol, you choose Espanol. But I'm English, so I'm going to choose English. So, theme, it's whatever you want. You start out with default. I don't like that. It looks ugly as hell, so I'm going to choose dark. It's a lot easier on the eyes. And all of the rest of this is, you know, just personal preference. Just check what you want. It's not going to really, you know, bother with your recording or anything. It's not going to change anything. So, yeah, just do your personal preference. So once you're done doing that, you want to go down to Stream, and you want to go to Stream Type. You want to go to Streaming Services. Don't click Custom Streaming Server. I might do a tutorial on custom streaming servers later if you guys want, but click on Streaming Services. And then Service, we're going to be using Twitch for this tutorial. I don't really know how to stream with YouTube yet. I haven't done it. I've only done it once, and it was fucking I hate streaming on YouTube. It's terrible. So you guys just go with Twitch. So if you want to stream with YouTube, I might do a tutorial on how to set up a stream key and everything with YouTube. But for now, we're just gonna stick with Twitch. You can click Show All Services. That shows a bunch more less popular services, but I don't want the less popular services because Twitch is the best. So server, basically you want to choose the server which is closest to you. So the one that's closest to me is US East Ashburn, Virginia. I live in North Carolina, so that's going to be the closest out of all of these. So I'm going to choose Ashburn, Virginia. And then the stream key, what you want to do is you want to click the other link, which sends you to twitch.tv, obviously, or you can just go to Twitch, your choice. And you want to sign in, right? And then you want to click on your name down here, and you want to hit the drop down. You want to go to dashboard. So once you're at the dashboard, you want to go to this thing that says stream key over here. Once you're at stream key, you want to hit show key, so you can get your stream key, obviously. And then you want to read this. So what a stream key basically is it is a key which lets you connect to the Twitch servers. So if somebody else has your stream key, they will be able to stream on your account. So don't ever give anybody your stream key unless you trust them very much not to fuck it up. So you have to click the I understand, whatever. And you just want to copy the stream key. My chair is like super squeaky, man. I gotta get a new one. Anyways, you want to copy the stream key. Like I said, don't show this to anybody. This is what you need to stream. If they have this, they can stream on your account. Like I said, so you just want to copy the stream key. I'm going to do it a second time. And you can reset the key if it's been compromised, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it after this tutorial. So you guys aren't going to be able to stream on my thing. Whoa, I have 2 OBSs open. Let's exit this instance. Anyways, that was weird. So you want to paste your stream key, or it's a stream key, and you can show it to see if it's right. I wouldn't check all that if it didn't work. I just reset my stream key and you know, copy and paste it again. So yeah, if the stream key doesn't work, just reset your key and then copy and paste it again. So I'm gonna hit apply, and I'm gonna go over to output. Output mode, go to advanced because simple is too easy. Let's be honest. So go to advanced. We are advanced, so we're gonna do some advanced stuff. But okay, so audio track, you just want to choose one for now. I might do a video on what audio tracks are later, but if you're just starting out streaming and you're doing basic streams, just do not mess with audio tracks yet. Encoder. So the encoder is purely based on your system and how your system works. So if you have a good graphics card, but your CPU is not very good, you want to choose NVENC H.264. It encodes most of your stream and your video processes with your graphics card. And X264 uses a lot of your CPU, kind of vice versa. Doesn't use your graphics card as much, it uses mostly your CPU. I choose X264 because my CPU is godly. I have a Intel i7 6700K, so my CPU can handle it, and I have a GTX 1070 graphics card, so I could do NVENC, but I get better results with X264 because my CPU is a god. This purely depends on what your system is, but in most cases, your graphics card will probably be better than your CPU, guys, so I'm going to go with NVENC for now, and then I'll do a, in this video, after I do NVENC, I'll teach you guys how to set up X264, so let's do NVENC first. So, rate control, you want to choose CBR, and bitrate. So, bitrate, what we're going to do here, you want to keep this checked, and you don't want to rescale the output. So, anyway. Bitrate, you actually want to click the third link I'll have in the description, which this is this little YouTube help kind of article chart thing that shows you what quality is good for what bitrate, kind of a quality to bitrate ratio, right? So if you're planning on just streaming at a decent 720p, you know, nothing special, 720p, 30 frames per second, you would want to put your resolution at 1280 by 720. And your video bitrate would be between 1,500 and 4,000 kilobits per second. So, if you want to do a speed test to test out your, speed, this will be the 4th link in the description. So you want to click this link over here, guys, and this will tell you your upload and download speed. So you want to go over settings, and you want to make sure you're at megabytes per second, and that's all you want to change. And then you want to click go, and it'll do your speed test right here. So I'm just going to do my speed test really quick. A bunch of people are on the internet right now, so it's kind of slow. I have the AT&T fiber, so that's why my internet looks really fast right now. But like I said, some people are on the internet, so it's obviously going to be slow. And yeah, I'm getting half of what I usually get. And my upload speed looks like it's going to be faster than my download, which is weird. Usually it's the other way around. Your upload is usually significantly lower than your download, but my upload is 829 megabytes per second, or megabits per second. I think it's megabytes. But anyways, you're probably not going to have these upload and download speeds if you're just starting out streaming. I have probably the best internet in my area, I think, the AT&T fiber. You'll probably have, the average viewer around here, you'll probably have about maybe 5 megabytes to 20 megabytes per second. I'm going to go through all that. So I'm going to tell you guys what you need to do. So if you're planning on streaming at 720p, you want anywhere from a 5 megabyte per second download speed, 2.5 to 5 megabyte per second download speed. If you want to do 720p at 60 FPS, you would want maybe a 5 upload speed and above, right? And if you want to do 1080p and 1080p 60 frames per second, you want anywhere between a maybe 10 to 30 megabyte per second speed. It's very different based on what encoder you use, and there's a bunch of variables in it, but with this you really want to experiment with, but just flat out the best bitrate quality you can choose just for any internet that looks good and you will get good internet performance. You would want to go with 720p, and I'd usually go with around a 2500 to a 3000. That is a very good compromise for speed and performance and quality. So if we do 3000 here, this is 3000, like I said, it's only good if you're doing 720p or 720p at 60 frames per second. If that's using too much of your bandwidth up, you can definitely go ahead and switch to 2500 megabits per second. But for me personally, I go with 5000 because I stream at 1080p 60 frames per second, so I'm just going to apply that. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about bitrate and quality below, I will gladly answer your comments. Like I said, if you need any help with this, guys, please leave your stuff in the comments below. I would definitely get at you with an answer because I don't have much things to do, honestly. I have no life. I'm doing tutorials for streaming. Anyways, you want to set your keyframe interval to 2 seconds. Nothing special about that. Preset, default, profile main, level auto, check use passive coding, GPU, 0, B-frames 2. Not much to say about that. So now I'm going to go to X264 encoder for people who have good CPUs. So rate control, you want CBR. Bitrate, I am going to put to 5K. Keyframe interval, you want to do 2 as well. I usually select very fast for this. So higher equals less CPU. So if you choose ultra fast, it's going to use less CPU, and if you choose slow, it's going to use more CPU. So I usually go with very fast. It's a good compromise between quality and performance. And profile, you want to go main. And tune, you want to select none. That's actually kind of personal preference, but I wouldn't mess with that. Never mess with that. And uncheck variable frame rate and X264 options. Do not mess with that. But I personally use X264, so these are going to be my personal streaming settings. Yeah, so the recording tab, don't want to mess with this. Like I said, if you want to know how to record OBS and upload videos to YouTube, I already have a tutorial for that you can check out. I had an annotation beginning of the video. I might put one now, but click that if you want to know that. So audio, you want to select for all of your audio, you want to go 192-bit rate for anything, because anything higher than that is a little overkill. Anything lower than that sounds decent, but 192 is really the best quality you're going to get on Twitch, honestly. And you want to apply, you want to go to audio down here. Sample rate, you want 48 kilohertz, channels, stereo, desktop audio device default. When you choose to, I mean, you can definitely choose which audio device you want. So most of my sound comes out of my Astros. So if I select Astros right here, I could do that. But I'm just gonna select default because it automatically chooses where all my sounds are coming from and whatnot. So yeah. You can disable it if you don't want game sound and everything. So yeah, this is where your game sound and everything like that's gonna come out of. Then you want to go to mic auxiliary audio device, and this is where your commentary is going to come out of. So if you don't want commentary, just disable it, and if you want to talk, use your best mic. So hit apply. Video. So your base canvas resolution is going to be the resolution of your monitor. This is going to be your native resolution. So I have a 1080p monitor, so I'd check 1920 times 1080. If your monitor is like, you know, 1280 by 720, choose 1280 by 720. If your monitor is 720p, you know. Anyways, this output scaled resolution is what quality your stream is going to be. So if you select 1920 times 1080, your stream will be 1080p. If you select 1280 by 720, your stream will be 720p. If you select 852 by 480, your stream will be 480p. But I'm going to select 1920 times 1080 because that's what I like to stream at. Great quality. Downscale filter. If your monitor is 720p and you're streaming at 720p, use bilinear. And if you're streaming at, if your monitor is 1080p and you're also streaming at 1080p, leave it as bilinear. So pretty much if the scaled resolution is the same as your canvas resolution, you want to choose bilinear. If it's not the same, you want to choose bicubic. So I'm going to choose bilinear because these are the same. FPS, you want to choose common FPS values. Like I said, if your internet is not that strong, you'd want to use 30 frames per second, and same thing goes with your computer. If your computer's not strong, you'd want to use 30 frames per second. 60 frames per second is really a luxury. Honestly, I'd take quality over frames. So if you're debating on whether or not you should do 720p at 60 frames per second or just 1080p at 30 frames per second, I highly recommend 1080p alone. If you can do that, that's great. I usually choose 60, but like I said, there's a lot of experimentation to be done here, and do what is best for you. So hotkeys, these are pretty much hotkeys. The only ones I have are for starting recording and stop recording, which is the star on my keyboard. You can set to whatever you want. These are the only ones I have, really. Advanced, the only things you want to change on here are UV color space. You want to change to 709. Color format, you want to put NB12 and UIV, or no, YUV color range, partial. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. This video is already getting pretty long, so. Whew, that is pretty much it for the settings, guys. That took a while. Wow. 16 minutes already in this video. That's crazy. Alright. So, now what you want to do, you have all your settings good. Hopefully, that all went fine for you guys. So, what you want to do now is you want to check if your mic is working. So, if I check right now, it is working because my audio is bouncing all over the place. And your desktop audio, you can check if that's working if I go ahead and play a song in Spotify right now. I'm just gonna wait a second the song. So yeah, you guys can see it's working. That's all good. So I usually set mine to negative 15 dB or negative 15.6. You generally want your desktop audio to be quieter than your mic because you don't want your game audio being louder than your mic because they can't hear you. So you want your desktop audio to be lower than your mic. So I usually go with 15. Every system's different. Like I said, experiment a lot. This is just the base settings that I use. It might not work for you. Anyways, if you guys have any questions about that, leave it in the comments below. I will answer it. So yeah. The way you actually start streaming is what you want to do is you want to go to your sources here, and if you don't have a scene right here that says scene, you just want to add a scene, but I already have one, so I'm not going to add one. So what you want to do now is right click on the empty box that says sources, and you want to hit add, or you can hit the plus button. You want to hit game capture, but before you do that, guys, you want to actually run your game first, because in order to add a game, it has to be running. So I'm going to go ahead and run a game. What game do I want to record? Why don't we do this new game I like called Astroneer. Great game. I might do a let's play on it. The thing is, it just lags way too much when I record it. Like, honestly. I don't know why, but it does. So as you can see, the game is running. So if I do Alt-Tab, hopefully if I add this, it'll actually record. So for games, if you want to record games, definitely go to game capture every single time. And I'm going to name this Astroneer. Guys, you want to be organized with this. Always name your source the name of the game or whatever you're recording. You always want to be organized, or else you just get lost. So, mode, you want to choose capture specific window so you can capture the specific game you want. And if I choose Astroneer game preview, as you guys can see, it'll start recording Astroneer. And if I go to Astroneer, it'll be incredibly laggy because I'm running OBS and Bandicam at the same time. Bandicam is what I'm recording OBS with. And I'm getting notifications. Every time I make a video, I get a notification. So I'm just going to close the window on that. And the way you start streaming is you just hit the start streaming button. And what you would want to do is you just go to your, dashboard. And you would not go to your stream key. You just go here and go to your channel. And what I usually do is I watch my stream on my other monitor. And I'll mute the stream so I can't hear myself. And yeah. If you guys want to follow my Twitch, here it is, twitch.tv/tropicsgaming. I stream quite a lot now. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. If you have any questions, like I said, about any of the recording, definitely leave your comments below. I will definitely try to answer you. Yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. Not much else to do. This has been a very long video. So, I hope you guys did find this helpful. If you did, please consider leaving a like, because that's apparently how the new YouTube algorithm works, is by likes and comments. But it is what it is. If this video didn't help you out, I guess leave a dislike. It's up to you. And subscribe. More tutorials coming in the future. So if that tutorials are your thing, if you need to know stuff, more knowledge, definitely hit that subscribe button. More let's plays is well coming in the future, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I hear you.
Enemy triple kill.
What's up guys, it's Pete here from the Gaming Careers YouTube channel, and today we're going to be going over the ultimate guide to setting up your live stream with OBS Studio. A couple of advisories before we get started. This is a video guide on how to set up OBS Studio for PC. Just So if you're looking for a guide for Mac or for Xbox One or PS4, then check out the Gaming Careers YouTube channel for those appropriate videos. Secondly, this video is quite long, and I really wanted to create a video that went into a bit more detail on the OBS Studio settings, because there's a lot of videos on YouTube right now that sort of recommend certain settings for your Twitch or YouTube stream, but really it depends on your computer specs and whereabouts in the world you are and what internet connection you have, as well as a huge of other things. So I wanted to go into a little bit more detail to make sure that you get the best setting possible for your scenario. So since this video is quite long, I'm going to make it easy for you guys to navigate by putting timestamps down in the description below, so you can skip ahead to certain parts if you only require to know about certain settings. And I'm also just going to quickly go through what we'll be covering in this guide now. Firstly, I'll just go over a brief introduction to OBS Studio and the differences between OBS Classic and OBS Studio. Then we'll move on to downloading and installing OBS Studio. Thirdly, we'll be looking at the general settings for OBS Studio, so things like which Twitch server to stream to, what bitrate should you be streaming at, as well as how can you record and stream at the same time if that's something that you're looking to do. Fourth, we'll be looking at the OBS audio settings, and then which server to stream to, what bitrate should you be streaming at, as well as how can you record
An ally has been slain.
if that's something that you're looking to do. Fourth, we'll be looking at the OBS audio settings,
or not
and then
to shake. I hear you. To shake or not to shake.